If there's one thing that I am certain of, is that I know if you put in the work, it will work out for you in the end. Hello and welcome to the Results with Ronnie podcast series. I am your host, Ronnie Walker, master coach of exceptional dating, relationships, and sex. And today, I am going to talk about gold digging. And the question that is so often asked throughout the years, but for some reason, I've noticed in the past 2.5 years, where this question has been asked in such an intense space. I mean, it's really, you go through the blogs, the different internet platforms. I'm hearing this over and over and over and over again. So I'm going to talk to the men as well as talk to the women. And hopefully, if you listen to this with an open heart, a little critical thinking, I believe we can come to some sort of understanding of where everybody stands. Now, of course, there'll always be those who may not. But again, I never want to consider myself the definitive authority in any and all things, male and female. But I'm going to really communicate this from a man's point of view, man's space, because these are the men who I talk to quite a bit concerning this particular situation and why it is what it is at this point. Because I think we really need to address this. And so I'm just going to share some thoughts personally. I'm also going to share what a lot of the men are sharing with me. Is she a gold digger? So let me start with the gentleman. Brothers, listen to me. Hear me and hear me well. Relationships, dating, costs. There's a price you pay. Outside of the emotional investment, which is very important, spiritual investment, mental investment, there is a monetary investment in dating and courting the woman you want to include in your life for the rest of your life. And to think that for some reason you can avoid that, you're really fooling yourself. Now, here is where part of the debate comes in, because now we have a mindset where we are talking about the 50-50. So if we're going on a date, I pay for your dinner, you pay for my dinner, or we pay for each other's dinner, how we choose to work it. You have men that are really concerned about spending money. And I get it to a point, because see, here's what happens. And ladies, men really think about return on investment. So if I'm going to invest all of these resources, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially, what's in it for me? Part of this also comes from a mindset that they figure that if it doesn't work out, the investment financially is not as bad. And I have a challenge with this thought, because I'm coming from the space of, a gentleman, if you see interest, and being that you are the gateway and asking a woman for the hand in marriage, that you're going to have to spend something. So we're just going to talk right now just from the financial aspect of this. Okay, so you spend $100, $200 on a dinner. Things don't work out. Hell, you're not promised tomorrow. Now, if you've taken the time and the effort and the intention to get to know the woman, well then, heck, you have a better chance of getting to day 2, 3, and going on. And at some point, you will come to realize that this is the woman you want to have in your life. There are no guarantees. And I believe this mindset far too many women and men are taking in the world of dating is that they want guarantees. And if there are no guarantees, well, I want to get out of it with as little investment as possible. And see, I believe, again, this is just Ronnie speaking, that hell, if I spend $50, $60, well, really, what is the difference? What's that much? Or $200 because I've spent money on her. Hopefully she's a woman that you've vetted and that you feel worthwhile. And if at the very least you've learned something, you may have gained a contact, hell, could be a friend. You never know. However, ladies, I need you to hear me and hear me well. I get it. You want a man of means. You don't want to date a broke man. You want a man that you feel, or how that should be, financially stable. He can take care of his own needs financially, and making sure that if this is the man you want to spend the rest of your life with, that he has the financial means in which to maintain a household. That's just what it's about: protecting, providing, and make sure his investments in terms of being a man who's mentally stable, emotionally stable, spiritually stable, and physically healthy. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that. There really isn't. That's the way it's been done for centuries. Now, here is where, ladies, I find the challenge in. And I hear this from men, and I see this and hear this with my own eyes and ears. Your messaging is off. Now, we're not going to talk of those women who are really all about the manipulation. Hell, you see it on TikTok videos. There are whole courses on how to finesse men out of their money with that have no intentions on getting with, that you're not even attracted to. There really are courses out there for women to take advantage of men and their money. Even studies that show that there are women, I think they said something as high as 30% of the women that go out on dinners are only out there for the free meal. So think about this. Think about men hearing this message over and over and over. And even if it's a minority of the women, here is what I've always said. The internet, media, has a way of making the few seem like they're the majority. And we're talking across all age ranges. And men get this and they're like saying, okay, you know what? In order to hedge my bet, then I'm all about the 50-50, which of course infuriates certain women, especially women of a certain age. And so now we're going back and forth because no one wants to invest more than what they feel they should in getting to know each other. And now we have this conundrum at the space. And this is all led by women who are really in it for whatever the reason. Maybe they really don't like men. They're bringing with them some past trauma, some past hurt, and it's pretty bad. So what do we do? This is where the accountability is. And this is where men feel that women should look to check other women. I mean, it's gotten so bad. Now you have women that used to be matchmakers getting out of the matchmaking business. And they're putting their best foot forward. You have, of course, they've been in this for years of trying to say, hey, ladies, if this is the type of man that you want, then this is what is required. But instead, they fight them on that. And they're tired of it. And they're leaving the market because everybody's all about the bag, chasing the bag, leveling up. You've made money your God and not a quality man. Or you've made getting him as an accessory, but the money more than your feelings, your emotions, your love. the future, the vision, the goals with someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Our men are hearing this loud and clear. And what happens is that the women who understand and really do their best sometimes to communicate that then it's not about the bag of finessing men. They're having a hard time communicating this because the men are jaded. Because yes, some men come from those situations. There are men paying alimony right now as we speak. You have quite a few men who feel right now marriage is not in their best interest because financially it would ruin them, prevent them from growing. Now, I believe that you could take any bad situation and turn it into something good. So yes, you can come back from a bad divorce. I believe that with everything in me. So, ladies, what are you doing to help to direct the message so that it doesn't look as though that all we have out here in the dating market is a bunch of gold diggers? It's a challenge, but I believe it's possible to overcome this negative messaging. You have men who are telling you that they're okay with that, but they understand that women are wanting, put it this way, here is what, I've learned in the world of couples and money. Because if there's anything that I've learned about couples, has always been through money a lot of ways. Being in the business of financial coaching, when dealing with life insurance and investments, things of this nature, I'm looking at bank statements, credit card statements, and the things that men and women spend their money on. Also learning how men and women see money different. See, men look at money as power. Women look at money as security. So I can't tell you how often I speak to men and say, no, it's not about the Louis Vuitton and the clothing and the cars. It's about making sure that the lights will turn on when they hit the switch. It's making sure that the house is not foreclosed on. They want a man with means. Now, there are those men who live incredible lives where the money of the woman means absolutely nothing to them. You also have a huge percentage of women that are going after this small percentage of men. And so these men are definitely making sure, not all of them, some of them, well, that's a whole nother conversation. But a lot of these men are out here making sure they're vetting these women in a way that they can maintain their lifestyle, because they literally are. We do know, listen, make no mistake about it. There are those women who truly are gold diggers, and some of them will proudly pronounce, and they will let you know that they're about the money. There's songs out there about it. They putting a value on their V and what it costs to get it, and don't think you're going to get it unless you're spending this type of money. And it's really got women all messed up, because a lot of women are now believing this nonsense, not realizing that these men have choices. There's a lot more women who will give up the same things as good as you think yours is for less. Now, does the finessing and gold digging work for certain men? Absolutely. But it's a sad situation when we have men that really feel that there's a challenge out here finding quality women, when I know there are quality women out there, because of this gold digger status that everyone's touting. I'm all for hypergamy. You want a man who's gonna uplift your social status and networking. You want a man who knows that you could be proud of having on your arm. And a man of means wants a woman that he can proudly have. But what he doesn't want is the gold digger. We really have to attack this type of messaging. Now, we can also argue that gold digging is something that's been around forever, that they really have no intentions on loving the man or getting to know the man. It's all about the money. If anyone want to question what a gold digger is, I'm sad that I have to really explain that, but I'm sure at some point I'll get an email saying, well, what exactly is a gold digger? It's all about the lifestyle. I mean, let's face it, man, when we're getting on one knee, we're not professing and we're not asking the woman to join us in a mediocre life. We want to give her the world, the stars, the sun, the moon, vision boards of travel, a nice life. Now, the truth is, we know not every man and every woman wants Birkin bags, expensive foreign and American cars. They're just happy and maintaining a life where, again, they're healthy, attend church together, invest in the community, supporting small businesses, and going on vacation without having to worry about when they come home, the credit card bills in the mail, it's paid for, it's taken care of, maybe investing in each other's businesses. There's no one blueprint for what may be a great relationship for that man. But what men don't want to be is taken advantage of. And so I'm asking the ladies that you just pay attention and listen to the men. They're not whining and complaining. Some of them really do have some experiences that they've been burned. And of course, now we can also say some of these men brought it upon themselves. But with that being the case, they've learned the lesson and they don't want to repeat it. And then as they're going through it, to be a therapy, coaching, both, and putting themselves back out into the dating market of vetting a woman that they want to spend the rest of their life with, these are the messages that they're receiving. You see the videos, you see the podcasts, the courses. Don't worry about the love, worry about the money. Get that bag. Make sure if he's not buying you this, then he's not a real man. All that nonsense that's going on. And it really needs to stop. If there's one thing I've learned, is that the right man that connects with the right woman, there is nothing he won't do for her if she meets his needs. And what is his needs? Well, lady asked her. He will spend the money. He will support her business. He will respect the individuality as a woman. He just wants to make sure that there is a return on his financially, emotional, physical investment in the relationship, in you. And if all that woman is worrying about is the money, then I can assure you you're going to have a problem. You'll be ghosted. Check, please. Won't get a second or third date. So ladies, I get it. You don't want a broke man. And I don't think a coach, male or female, will point you in the direction of connecting with a man who doesn't have the financial means to maintain a relationship in a household. But I suggest you take a look at yourself and really, as you're communicating the financial aspects of a relationship, what that looks like. Because unintentionally, you may be coming across as a gold digger. Now, again, I don't want to talk about the men that are out here wanting a woman to lower her standards because he refuses to get his act together. I'm talking about the men who are really taking care of business, because those men exist. It's not rare, as many would have you believe. There are men out there that are really out there doing the thing financially, along with all the other aspects of that. So take some time, again, and really write down, when you're talking about the financial aspects of what you're looking for in a man, see how that translates when you're talking to him over dinner, brunch, lunch. Now again, if a man has not done the work on himself, mentally, emotionally, financially, no matter what you say or do, he's going to take it that you're a gold digger. And those men, that's a whole nother, leave that up to the brothers. And hopefully some of them will listen to us. But in your choosing to entertain, this is where your discernment comes in. As you listen to him share his thoughts and what he's looking for in a woman, make sure that he's not coming across as bitter or overguarded, if that's a term, when speaking about the financial aspect of what you're looking for in a man. Because you have every right to want a man who's financially secure. Especially when you look at the rate of divorce due to lack of money. Now, I speak to men about this all the time. Some men are not financially able for a wife, for dating, for that matter. So let's really, again, think about how we're communicating our needs for a financially stable man. And I can assure you, you save yourself a lot of time. And will also separate you from those women who mean a man no well with his finances. It's hard out here for a man. And if there's anything here, we learned during this pandemic, is that a lot of men are reassessing themselves. A lot of men are educating themselves. More men are seeking therapy. More men are reflecting on themselves in the past relationships and the money that they spent. They're taking ownership and accountability of the part they played in separating their money to a woman who was not worthy. So do understand if they're a little bit guarded. They should be. I coach men all the time on this, of making sure. So this is just something that I just want you all to think about, both men and women, but especially women, because ladies, you're wondering where they are at. Where they at, Mr. Ronnie? Where are they at? I got this, I got that, I'm this, I'm that, I look great. Have all of this, where are the men at? And the men are out there. Now, again, we can talk about why you're not meeting them, but for the ones you're meeting, the ones you are meeting and it doesn't work out, well, again, there are a number of reasons, but again, when it comes to the financial aspect, because if you're talking about a future together, money is important. All that money isn't that important is bull. And stop telling yourself that, and stop telling the world that. Money plays a very important part in a relationship and a future together. And you really, once you get to that space in the dating and you're going to new levels, you really need to know what that looks like. What type of life you're looking to have with the man of that vision board, the man you're manifesting. And what I will do is do my part to communicate to the men that they make sure they hold up their financial end of the bargain along with the other parts. I don't want to discard any of the emotional and physical aspects of being a qualified man. We're just talking about the money right now, because this gold digging thing is real. And far too many women are dismissing that when men are speaking of that. Again, we're not talking about the men that are out here just anytime they have to spend $1, they're complaining about it. Leave those men the hell alone. We're talking about the men who can handle it, who come correct financially. Make sure that what the energy that you're sharing is not coming across too much into the gold digging space. I coach men and women on this all the time. So get rid of the language of it not being important. It is important. And you, as a woman, should not be ashamed to express that. And men, again, make sure that, again, as you enter the space of dating or as you're dating, just accept the fact that there's money going to be spent. And stop worrying about whether or not she shows up or she's available for the next date. Now, again, many men and women argue me on the whole 50-50. I'm just in the space that as a man, you see what you like. You want to take the time, invest the time, and invest your money. Then I don't think paying for dinner, desserts, paying to take a trip with her is asking too much. Especially if you've done the vetting properly. So I hope this is something, and of course, as usual, there probably will end up being a part 2 because my inbox is just going to be flooded with thoughts on this, and that's great. I welcome that. And if you want to reach out, well, again, let me repeat. resultswithronnie.com or resultswithronnie@gmail.com. Let me hear your thoughts. For those of you that are looking for a consultation or coaching, I'll be more than happy to do that and point you in the direction and help you get to that space in your communication and making sure that what you're sharing does not come across the wrong way. At the very least, increase your odds of not chasing that man away because you come across as some woman who just only wants red bottom shoes and designer clothes, bags, cars, and you're just going to take the man for everything that he has and then walk away. Now, if you are that type of woman, please don't come to me because I can sniff that stuff a mile away. Because one thing I do know is that you can try to cover that for a minute. And for certain men, you just may get over it. But for the man who knows, who's done the work, I can assure you it's not going to work out for you. So, with that being the case, I hope you get some value out of what I've shared this afternoon. And again, if you have any questions, resultswithronnie@gmail.com. You can also tune in to Dating Discussions with Ronnie and Yashika. That's Dating Discussions with Ronnie and Yashika on YouTube, where we talk about these subjects from a woman's perspective and from a man's perspective. So if you don't want to only hear this from me, you can also hear this from Yashika, an incredible woman with a great resume in terms of dating and relationships, and something that many have gotten value from. So I thank you for your support. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me at resultswithronnie.com. That's resultswithronnie.com. You can also reach out to me on MrRelationshipMan.com, MrRelationshipMan.com, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you have something that you'd like to share that you feel I should cover, I'd be more than happy to do so. So, I hope everybody's enjoying their holiday season. My name is Ronnie Walker, Master Coach of Exceptional Relationships, Dating, and Sex. And I want to take this time to thank you for your continued support. Also, if you'd like to sit here and treat Ronnie to a cup of coffee, you can cash at me at $ results with Ronnie. That's $ results with Ronnie. I thank you and look forward to talking to you again soon. All the best now. Until again, take care.